This conference will now be recorded.
Milliken is good. Milliken's actually got a little bit better wear layer than the Aladdin.
I got 6 o'clock. We'll call the meeting to order. We'll start the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I don't believe we have any amendments, so I just need approval, adoption of the agenda. Any further discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 4-0-0. Review the regular meeting minutes from September 19th.
I'll make a motion to approve the September 19 minutes.
Any further discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 4-0-0. Accounts payable, Sarah.
Well, there's quite a few to call out. It's kind of a busy month. Let's see. I should have put my glasses on. 756. That is a pay request 7 for Mill and 6th. 762, another pay request for WHKS. And then if we go down a little bit farther, there's 3 in a row, 765, 766, and 768. All pay requests for Schumacher for East 9th Street, and the final pay request for Jefferson. So that's good. Everything else is probably routine. If there's no questions, I'll make a motion to approve the accounts payable in the amount of $716,819.76.
I'll second that.
Any further discussions on accounts payable? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 4-0-0. Thanks, Sarah. Let's open public comment portions. Individuals may address the city council about any item of concern. Speakers must state their name and limit the remarks to 5 minutes. Public comments. Chief, you got any public comments? Perfect. I will close public comment portions and we will jump to 8A. Resolution 2024-34, adopting findings of fact and reasons for approval of a variance application by Seth Freeze Construction. Curtis.
Yes, this should have been done in the last meeting, but it was a mistake on my part not having it ready. Variance was granted by the Planning and Zoning Commission from a public hearing held on September 10th. The variance was then brought to the City Council meeting on September 19th and was passed by a vote of 5-0-0, which led to this resolution, which is Resolution 2024-34. And as you can see here, and Seth Freeze looking for variance for a rear yard setback stemming from the public hearing and the City Council approval. The Planning and Zoning Commission is seeking approval of Resolution 2024-34, which is a variance located at 966 Gulfview Avenue for the rear yard setback.
I guess I'd make a motion to approve resolution 2024-34.
Second.
Any further discussions? We will do roll call. Sarah.
Aye.
Bob. Kevin.
Aye.
Aye. Passes 4-0-0. Thanks, Kurt. Let's jump to 8B, safe built presentation. Kurt?
That's me. Yeah, so on September 24th, which was last week, Brian, Mr. Gruda, Mr. Olson, and myself had a meeting with SafeBuilt. Now, SafeBuilt is the company that we use, which used to be called Minspect, and they changed their name. SafeBuilt members, Senior Account Manager Alan Green was here, as well as our building official. His name is Cade Paulson was with. He's the man who will go out and do the actual inspections around town. So he does a very good job. There's obviously in his situation, there's going to be some people who aren't happy because he enforces permits. Services that SafeBuilt provides the city of Zumbrota are going to be building official services, inspections, plan reviews, and code enforcement. And I don't have numbers to give you to correlate with another year, but this, up to this point, and I think there's a typo in the original memo I gave you. Since May 1st, there's been 138 permits issued, 172 have been completed, and 146 inspections have passed at a rate of almost 85%. Of the 138 permits that were issued, 123 were residential with an 85.71% of pass rate, and there were 15 commercial with a 77.8% pass rate. And attached to your agenda, or excuse me, your packet, you'll see there are numerous graphs showing the information that up to this point. And like I said, I don't have anything to compare it to because CMS never gave us anything like this. But in the future I will. But they're very thorough with their work they do. And I can't tell you why they changed their name. Do you know, Brian?
They were just bought out by a national, SafeBuilt is a national company. Minspect was started by Scott Qualley up in the city somewhere.
Okay.
And SafeBuilt bought him out and then he retired and SafeBuilt just pulled the whole thing under one name.
Yeah. They are very quick. They get permits issued very fast. The workflow that we do as a staff, we go through and get information and we approve such things like zoning, and Mike will improve or get to see public works information. So it's going, I would say it's going very well at this point. So it's just information for you guys to take a look at.
And then I just want to say, so the pass rate there, what I liked what they said was there's coaching that goes along with that. Yes, there's some that don't pass, but they're coaching along the way and helping work through things. So, inspections are going to pass at some point. There might have to be a second inspection or things like that. But what I was really looking for with an inspector and a company was that coaching and that helping out. Now, we had that before as well, but they're really, really thorough, very knowledgeable. Kate is very knowledgeable, very smart, does a nice job. As always, there's growing pains. There's very few complaints, but there's always a couple here and there. But so there's a whole lot of information in that packet. We just broke it down to basically permits issued, Kurt did. But yeah, there's other things you can look at there. We'll try to do this. I think we meet with them quarterly. We'll probably bring it to you guys maybe twice a year, just for updates on where we're at with permits and answer whatever questions you might have.
Any questions for Kurt on that? Perfect. We'll move on to the next one. 8C, 9th Street East Chappa. Pay request. Brian.
Yes. This is pay request number 1 for the Champa edition. When we went this route with them, we were adamant that we want to keep things as separate as possible. Therefore, we have separate pay requests. We have the escrow check from the Champas. That money is in municipal reserve, and we move money from municipal reserve as these pay requests come in to pay for that portion of the development. So it's completely separate, completely transparent from the money spent on the 9th Street project.
I'll make a motion to approve pay request number 1.
I don't want to question, not dealing with this, but do we have a drawing from WHKS or a plat or whatever we need of the Champa property yet?
Yes.
Have we seen that?
No, I don't think council has oh, Kurt's gone. Oh, you could answer that. It was approved at planning, was it not, the plat for the Champa? Or is that on the next agenda? Is that on the next? So that might be next week at the planning commission meeting.
Okay.
So it's moving along, but that part we'll get here next week. There was, yep, there was a concept plan showing 7 lots that had been
They're
out
just
there.
doing 6, right? But there's 7 still.
I think they went with 7, did they not? Yeah, because it was going to be 6 originally, and then they rethought the area and decided to do 7. But yeah, that will be at the planning commission on Thursday. It's really just, yeah, right now it's moving dirt. So, yep, good question though.
What happened?
There's a bunch of sheriff and police over at the library.
Yeah, we'll keep you updated on that. That's a good question. You'll see it soon.
Sorry.
No, that was the type of question.
So have we voted? We got long.
We had a first and a second.
First and second? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 4-0-0. Thanks, Brian. Let's do 8D, 9th Street East pay request. Brian?
Yep, pay request number 2, recommending approval.
I'll make a motion to approve pay request number 2.
Any further discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 4-0-0. Let's do 8E, Mill and 6th Street pay request.
Yeah, pay request number 7, things are moving along. I see that, and Mike may be able to give a little bit of update on that too, but it looks like they're rocking the rest of their final grading anyway, and then maybe rocking tomorrow or whenever for the rest of 6th Street. They got done with, there was a whole confluence of water hookups in one spot there, so it took them a little while. But yeah, it's moving along.
Have they got curb all the way up, Mike? From Mill to Jefferson? Okay, I haven't been up there. I know they got it down.
I'll make a motion to approve pay request number 7.
Any further discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 4-0-0. 8F, Jefferson pay request, final.
Yes, the final pay request for Jefferson. So the construction bid price for Jefferson project was $5,119,456.51. The final construction cost ended up being $5,082,763.87. So $36,692.64 under bid. And this whole thing was estimated around $6 million originally. So did pretty well on it. I think it looks nice. As part of the grant agreement, MnDOT has reviewed the project and accepted it. So acceptance tonight by the council will start the 2-year maintenance period.
What does that maintenance include?
Anything that, Mike, can you help me answer the maintenance period on a road project?
I guess on a regular, when we do it, we don't have 2 years on city streets, but a year. But I would assume that, if there's any failures of any, that would be taken care of.
Did they do a crack seal at all within that 2 years or?
We'll do a crack seal within 3 years.
Okay.
One thing that I'm gonna bring out that I've had people comment is striping it. With it parking and no parking and where it's passing and it kind of gets out. So that's something I think at some point we might want to revisit that issue. but I've had 3 or 4 people, 2 of them are truckers that come in there. It's just tough because some people, when they're driving down and they're parking here, they don't get over, put it to the curb. So I said, it's new, we'll talk about it and go from there, so. That's my 2 cents on that.
I'll make a motion to approve pay request number 12 for Jefferson.
Any further discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 4-0-0. 8G, Resolution 2024-35, providing steps for part-time officers. Chief Callahan.
So you have a resolution in front of you in regards to providing pay steps for the part-timers. This is something that's probably been long coming. So far, we've always paid at the pay level 1 for all part-timers, no matter how long they've been here. And we certainly have some that have been here and worked for us quite a lot and for many years. And so we figured out a metric that would work to provide those steps based on hours per year, getting to a certain level, and then they could get a step increase. And that was something that the union had reviewed and found acceptable as well. And I think it would be a good way to help retain part-time staff, and potentially, if needed, find other part-timers that would like to work for us if possible. But I think it's just something that I think would be very beneficial to them as they do the same work that we do and have the same experience and can serve the community just as well.
Do you roughly know what that will do to the part-time budget, how much that would raise it? Do you have an estimate?
I know that was looked at, but
Yeah, there was not a whole lot of impact. We don't have a ton of part-time anyway.
it's very helpful when it's absolutely needed. And, there are times where we really, truly need it. But it didn't really seem to have much of an impact on that budget. We hardly used the budget already this year, so.
Yep, Kim and I talked about it quite a bit too, and we both felt that, let's try and go this way, see if it helps retain, helps us recruit when we need them. As you know, there's a problem getting part-time officers when we need them for various reasons, but this might be a little bit more of a, hey, you know what? Maybe I'll go do a part-time shift in Zimbrota rather than somewhere else. So the negligible cost that comes with it is worth it, in our opinion. I'm sorry I don't have actual numbers for you, but we're not going to blow up any budgets with it.
No.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2024-35.
Second.
Any further discussions? We'll do roll call. Sarah?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
Kevin?
Aye.
And I passes 4-0-0. Thanks, Chief. County cannabis agreement, Brian?
Yep, during the July 18th council meeting, we chose to delegate our registration authority to the county. And this is the agreement that the communities that chose the delegation are being asked to sign. I asked Matt to review it, and it looks pretty good. Still allows us to determine reasonable time, place, and manner of restrictions, as well as set the number of licenses, which is something that we need to get to work on as well, our cannabis ordinance. But we're recommending approval of the county cannabis agreement. And again, this carries with it to an out at any point if we want to
Regulate it.
go back out and take it ourselves.
I'll make a motion to approve the county cannabis agreement.
Second.
Any further discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 4-0-0. You have to abstain on that, can't I? No? Okay, perfect. I didn't know if it's part of it. Okay. Never mind. 8I, Police City Hall Council Chambers Common Area Flooring. Brian?
Yep, we took bids for this a while back. Bids that came in were from Carpet One, $32,321.40, and then Hillers was $41,388.73. Now, we looked at a little bit different flooring with Carpet One, asking some more questions as to what it included. We wanted to look at one of the tiles, which is the lighter one down there, because we had talked about doing that over on the police side. We were going to stick with the wood plank on the city hall side. So the tiles carry with it a little bit more money. And so that's why I gave the number on here and increases it to $35,971.40 if we go with the most expensive tile on both sides, or no, on just the police side. So I decided to ask for a not to exceed number, just in case there's anything that we missed on there, of $38,000. It won't go over that, I'm confident. But, so if we have the dollars approved, then we can continue to talk about colors and style. I've been working with Bob quite a bit. He's had all the specs for each of the flooring and said they all look pretty good. You know, we will probably end up doing some different furniture in the police side with the right casters around that table. I'm assuming, Bob, that there's casters that you want to use on a hard floor rather than the ones you use on a carpet.
No casters.
No casters. Sled-based chairs for the police side.
I know that's not real practical.
Yeah, well, office chairs will have to have casters, but, you know, maybe we could put down a plastic. They make the plastic things for hard floors too, so. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But yeah, we're looking at, you know, the city hall side, when we talked about it, staff had talked about it, Brandon, Kim, and we were looking at sticking with that. Chief Callahan looked at that today. This is a little lighter than we were hoping to have for the tile. But were you thinking you might be okay with going with the?
It's not gonna matter to me in the near future anyways.
Well, yeah.
I think it's gonna look fine.
Yeah, I mean, that we're consistent all the way through, and it's durable. That's not quite, this is not quite as, no, this is not quite as durable as this.
It's real close.
The plank has a 20 mil finish, and I believe I know the other planks in the Milliken are 22 mil, just a little bit.
A little bit, and then, but then the laying of these is harder.
Those are a little bit more challenging. They're not always absolutely square, so you can get slight gapping in them. And it all depends on the color. You put a lighter floor in like that, you'll get more of a dark line. You put a darker color in there, you don't see it as well. You do the plankings and you don't see your joints really at all.
Right, and then,
That's homier too.
and this,
The plank, I would agree.
Warmer.
and it does, it matches things pretty well. You know, there'll be new base with it, things like that, I believe. But,
Yes, that's included in there.
yeah. And then the carpets,
I'm not a huge fan of any of
Yeah,
them, but the
me
middle
too.
one is the best.
oh, that was the one nobody liked.
I agree.
The plank,
Yeah,
even though it doesn't-
like-
The two outside ones are the coldest.
Yeah.
That would
Yeah, this is
really,
more is the Rhoda Cougars type covers.
That's great, right?
It's great. It looks blue to me.
Does it?
Yeah.
It's really good. Maybe it does a little bit.
But yeah, so we can, but again, we can continue to discuss that. If we get the dollars approved, then we'll narrow it down and keep discussing what flooring we actually want for carpet.
I think
Any of these will give the more interest than the straight, you know, this stuff.
it will change the look of it and modernize it quite a bit.
I think it's ugly, but okay.
But it might be better too if you get a bigger chunk of it laid out versus just one tile.
Yes, because the one thing you'll get, you're concentrating on the pattern. And once you get more of them put in, you won't see, the pattern doesn't jump out just at you so
Because it all
much.
blends in.
It kind of blends. It diffuses itself.
It looks like to me like a computer
Generated image. Yeah.
image, and I don't like it at all. I don't know, it's
But
just
when you
like,
see it in a big room.
Yep.
It's not like that. It's-
It really diffuses itself.
okay.
And this
I
would be
think-
common area.
To me, it just looks super cheap and it's gonna make this room look cheaper. But I'm just saying my honest opinion.
Well, it's not cheap.
No, but I mean, this carpet, because of the pile of it, just really is rich looking. And I don't think that is all I'm saying.
Well, that's this one. This one's got a little heavier pile, isn't it?
But it's hideous.
It's
That
a
looks like a
little- it's a
rug,
little
like an outdoor
taller.
rug, like a rug that I have on the floor in the
Well, I know, but
liquor
they
store.
do
It's
different
ugly.
colors.
I don't like that
This
either.
almost matches what we got over there. Geez, I almost called you Brad.
Wouldn't be the first time.
I'm sure that happens.
But yeah,
But
so
anyway,
looking for the approval on the dollars tonight, and then we can continue to discuss colors.
colors,
What
okay.
you guys want to see. We'll get, I can get more.
But are we
of those.
all on the same page of the planking, so if we can at least start going ahead with that in the police station and or city hall? Or the city office, or?
Yeah, I mean,
I mean-
staff is all on board with that.
You know, if we do the planking, we really don't need to approve up to the 38, because that include the tile look too. I guess it really doesn't matter a whole lot, it's just.
Yes, but I anticipated maybe we should look at different carpets from the last time we talked about this. Yeah, because really the 36,000 was with the tile.
Yeah.
And I put 38 as a request just because if we don't like any of these and we get another book in here and it's a little more expensive, we're still there.
I make a motion to approve the flooring in the amount of not to exceed 38,000. Is that how we say that? I don't know.
I'll second that.
And Bob, you're okay with all what you see and stuff like that? I know you looked a lot at.
With these products here, they'll do fine. I know the Aladdin one, I kind of like the Milliken a little bit better. That's my personal preference. They're both going to perform though.
Perfect, we got a first and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 4-0-0. Thanks, Brian. Let's go to wastewater treatment facility, new computer. Mike?
James, turn the mic on.
Just been for new computers. Brian can help me out on this.
Yep, end of life. Computer out at the shop, or the plant. So it was recommended replacement, and this is the quote from Mike Bowe at Onsite Computers.
Does this include them setting it up and making sure it's working for them?
Yeah, everything is in here. Microsoft Home Business, yep. Yeah, the setup is all part of this. Actually, setup is kind of included in our contract anyway. So,
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the new computer at the wastewater treatment plant.
Second.
Any further discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 4-0-0. Thanks, Mike.
And one note, I've got it crossed off one in here because I have the updated quote now. So when we signed, it's got the actual, because I had to cross off because they had tax on here. So,
Well, I think that's the one that was in there without tax, yeah.
yeah, you got the one without tax.
Yep, perfect. 8K, new police officer hired. Chief Callahan.
So a couple of weeks ago, we had conducted interviews, and after the interviews, we did have a candidate that we offered a job to who he accepted that readily, that offer. So Tony Brecht is the proposed candidate for police officer, and he is going through the background process. He completed his psych already, that's done and completed. He has his physical coming up Monday, and hopefully near the end of next week, we'll have the results of the background, which I don't anticipate there being any surprises, and the same service had backgrounded him before within the past year, so it should be something readily fast. So he is the candidate that we anticipate hiring, and we figured we'd get it on the agenda so that in case he does start before the next council meeting, you already kind of have a heads up as to why. So we do anticipate that as we proceed.
And he had worked in the area, and so he's known to our officers. They've been on calls together before. So it'd be a pretty seamless transition to bring them in. So we're very glad to have the opportunity.
I'll make that motion.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 4-0-0. Thanks, chief. 2024-2025 icing sand quote. Mike?
Yep, I have a quote from Schumacher's for the sand for our icing. And so we're just replacing what we had last year, 160 total ton we used. And the price is $55 per ton this year. And we'll haul it in ourselves. I get it out early because I don't know when the county's gonna start hauling, and we like to haul it in at the same time as the county does, so.
You remember what the ton was last year, Mike?
It was more, last year we didn't use any.
Last year it was more?
Last year was pretty minimal.
Okay.
We didn't use any last year. That's why that 160 ton is probably the least amount I've ever ordered.
I'll make a motion to approve that icing sand quote.
Second.
Any further discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 4-0-0. Thanks, Mike. Let's do one more. 8M, Zumbrota Mazeppa Homecoming Parade request. Mr. Grudem?
Yep, Cody Tiedemann brought this in a couple weeks ago. Said that they want to have a homecoming parade that goes on the roads, not just around the track. So I think that's a great idea. I wanted to get in front of you because it's going to require some just blocking off of roads just very briefly to let the vehicles through. And then it sounds like there's the different teams. I asked my son if he was going to be out there. And he said, I think I'm in it. So I think the different, like baseball team's going to walk and different teams will walk in it as well. So they'll just come out of the parking lot on the West Avenue, down to 5th, up 5th, and then up Mill Street. And Chief Callahan's been involved. I know Scott Curtis will be on duty, right? And he knows about it, so I think we've got a handle on it. I will be presenting a parade road closure permit proposal that we would have a formal process and permit that Officer or Sergeant Pasquale put together. So I'll bring that to the work session, and then we can move on that at the next council meeting. So we've got something formal in place where there's formal checkoffs for Public Works, police, and council on there. So, but this one's happening tomorrow, so hopefully you're okay with it.
I'll make a motion to approve the homecoming parade route request.
I'll second that.
Any further discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Passes
4-0-0. Let's do reports, Brian.
I really don't have anything today.
What?
I know, isn't that?
Keep on going. Perfect, sorry, Matt.
I'll defer to James.
Okay.
I thought our agreement was you were gonna have a report, and I was gonna have a report. You may not, no report.
James?
You want a report tonight?
Yeah, I do.
So I've been working with Kevin Kish and the Historical Society to digitize old editions of the Zumbrota News Record. And we received $18,000 in grant money, and also the Historical Society kicked in $10,000. So I'm pretty excited about that project. That'll basically allow us to take old editions of newspaper, digitize it up through, right now we have it up to about 1980 with that funding in place. That'll allow people to freely access old editions of the newspaper through the Minnesota Historical Society. So one of the nice things about that, so we keep really old editions of the newspaper all the way back in paper form, but they're kind of brittle and we have to find libraries physically. So this allows people to access them from their computer at home. One of the benefits, we get a lot of genealogical requests all the time on people's signatures, things like that. But also, when you guys were looking at researching the pool, the history of that a little bit, it'd be nice to be able to go online and do research like that. So we're pretty excited about it, and that's my report tonight, Mayor. Thank you.
Perfect, thanks, James. How do you do that? Is that something you personally do, or is there a company that comes in and scans?
We contracted out through the historical society.
Okay.
Yeah, so we, they pull microfilm, they run it through a computer machine, and they pull up all the stuff. And then, the other part that they do with it is, they make it searchable, so they do optical character recognition is what it's called. So then you can type in different things and find stuff. So that's the real benefit of this project, isn't just preservation, but to be able to actually search that stuff. Perfect, great, thank you. Chief?
Today I was, attended the chief's meeting here. And the captain for communications was talking more about our encryption. And as you may recall, earlier this year, we had to buy another radio to make sure that all our mobile systems will be compatible. And so that as we approach the end of the year, that's becoming closer to our reality. There's a few counties that have flipped the switch to fully encrypted systems, and so the plan sounds like sometime in January, between January 1, January 27, they're going to flip the switch and Scannerland won't hear us anymore.
Oh, really?
So we will be fully encrypted, and there's apparently even other public safety entities won't be able to monitor those channels. So that's one of the requirements as far as the federal government is. Those are only for criminal justice agencies to have an encrypted channel. So we're going to be flipping that switch soon, and
A lot of people say that's their hobby.
yeah, I understand that. So, but that's one of the biggest pieces of news that we've heard from our law enforcement partners, and it's going to come. So,
Perfect. Thanks, Chief. Mike? I have two quick things. I just wanted to say, Covered Bridge Festival did another great job this year. I heard a lot of good feedbacks. The whole Holly Snyder did a great job and her crew. I just wanted to give them a shout out. And then I also wanted to give a shout out, which I think most people have heard, or not a shout out, but we did get approval for that workforce housing development grant of just $3 million, or just shy of $3 million. So that's something that we'll have another big project in the works, and that's all I have.
I'm going to jump in there. There's a lot of work to be done there yet, as we know. We're going to have to do a lot of things, a lot of site things with Keller Bartman, but we'll gear up and get moving on that just as soon as I'm waiting for the packet of information and all of that to come from the Housing Authority, and so we can get moving. And can I step in with one more too?
Yeah.
I just thought of something.
I do it.
Well, no, I was just thinking, so the campground pads, the 10 of them are proceeding. I just wanted to give Mike and the Public Works staff a pat on the back. They're down there laying the sewer and doing some of that work themselves, which is going to save a bunch of money. Of course, we've got the expertise on staff. I kind of said, well, you guys know how to do that? And Mike said, well, that's what I've done for you. I'm like, oh, that's right. So big pat on the back to those guys for getting dirty down there and saving the park board probably quite a bit of money. So thanks to all the guys. I think they were all down there too.
Thank you.
Sarah?
Thank you.
Bob?
Nope.
Kevin?
Nothing tonight?
Meeting adjourned.
I have a question. When they took my tree out,